What's up, guys? It's MB Boxing. I just finished up watching Andy Ruiz versus Jarrell Miller, and this was a 12 rounder in the heavyweight division. And this fight was Saturday, August 3rd, from the BMO Stadium in Los Angeles, California. And this fight was broadcasted on DAZN pay-per-view. And in this fight, Andy Ruiz and Jarrell Miller both fought to a majority draw. I personally do not agree with the outcome of this fight. I had it 117-111 for Jarrell Miller. I just thought Miller outworked Ruiz in this fight, and I just thought Ruiz was just gas and just kind of surviving throughout. But the judges had this one 114-114 twice, making it a draw. And then the other judge had it 116-112 for Miller, which is a scorecard I could definitely see. So just to break down how I saw this fight, I thought Ruiz started out strong. In the first 3 rounds, he looked great. He was just outworking Miller. He was throwing a lot of power punches and really putting a lot of power into every single shot he was throwing. And by the fourth round, he really looked gassed. Really, in my opinion, from rounds 4 really through 12, I gave them all to Miller. However, in that fourth round, Ruiz really looked tired. Miller started stepping up the gas, really 4, 5, 6, and 7. Those were kind of rounds where I really thought that Miller just outworked Ruiz and started walking him down and had a better body language, and Ruiz was kind of just surviving in those rounds. He looked extremely tired. But then at really round 8, somewhere around there, it was more, the rounds started to get more quiet, which actually allowed for Ruiz to possibly eke out some rounds, but I just thought overall Miller just had the better body language going forward. But that 8th round, it was a pretty quiet round. I gave it to Miller still, but I mean, I could see he could give it to Ruiz because he was backing up and throwing some shots. But after that, like in round 9, it was pretty close until Miller did land some good combinations late. Round 10, that was a kind of closer round that could have went either way in my opinion. I gave it to Miller. And then round 11 was also somewhat close, but I thought Miller just overall had a bit of the better work. Round 12, though, was definitely a Miller round. He pressed forward and had a much better close of the fight, or excuse me, much better ending to the fight than Ruiz. But this goes into question, what is next for Jarrell Miller? Even though the judges had this a draw, I mean, for him, obviously there could be some options. He might be able to fight Jared Anderson in a battle of their nicknames, both of them having the Big Baby as their nickname. But yeah, we could see Jarrell Miller in a possible clash with Jared Anderson, who did take a loss on this card, or we could possibly see him against even Martin Bakole, who also fought on this card. We could see a rematch with Ruiz. We could see a few other things for him, so it would be pretty interesting to see what happens. But as for Andy Ruiz, what's next for him? I mean, things aren't looking too great. I mean, he was relatively inactive. He was expected to win this fight. He really did not look that great. Definitely over the hill Ruiz is. And, I mean, I wonder what could be next. He could obviously rematch. Jarrell Miller could fight, like I said before, like Anderson, Bakole, still some of these top guys because he's still a name technically. But, I mean, things just aren't looking too great. I mean, I guess it's definitely Andy Ruiz kind of over the hill in his career now. But, I mean, still he could have some big opportunities next. So overall, Andy Ruiz and Jarrell Miller fight to a majority draw, although I do think that Jarrell Miller definitely should have won this fight. I thought overall Ruiz was pretty tired throughout. And yeah, that's really it. I'm MB Boxing. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.